So is that new Lion King movie worth going to see? Nah, it's not all that good. You can totally skip this one out. Isn't that right, Peach?
Peach has more expression than the lions in this movie.
Yeah, okay. People have been defending this going, well, they look like actual lions. Like, dude, we have all seen those photos of dogs and cats and gone, oh, they look so sad in that photo right there.
Or when they see him, like, smiling or growling, it's like, yes.
Yeah! This movie is... Okay, it would be one thing if it was like, well, that's what they look like in real life, but, brother, I know what animals look like in real life. They can emote!
We've watched nature documentaries.
We've watched naked documentaries? We've seen those too, but we're not going to talk about that.
Freudian slip there.
So, yeah, this is our post-Geekout reaction from the new Lion King movie. And we are critics, so we're going to hate it. And everyone... And you guys are audiences, so you're all going to love it. Because that's the divide on these live-action Disney films. Mm-hmm. Flames on the side of my face. Listen, I'm one of those people who's like, listen, man, if I don't like something and you like it, cool, it's fine. There doesn't need to be anything about this. It's totally all right. But it's always the same on these live-action Disney films.
Yes, and that's what's so frustrating.
It is always everyone going, no, they're not that good, and then everyone loves it. In my theater... The audience laughed maybe twice. Like, there were like 2 moments where they laughed throughout the whole thing, and there's plenty more than 2 jokes in this thing. But there were like no gasps, there were no emotional like sounds from lines.
Yeah, same.
And then when the movie ended, I was like, what?
Why are you clapping?
No,
in my audience, they clapped after the opening sequence, and it's like, dude, that's literally shot for shot the exact same opening of the original.
So much of this is shot for shot. We are being so interjected that Peach is like, I don't know. There's energy in the room now. I'm feeding on. Look how happy she is.
Yes. This is the energy we want.
Oh
this
my God.
Is it.
Yeah, so... He clapped. That means it's playtime. Yeah, no, buddy.
Easy
There's
does
nothing to play about with this movie.
Nope.
Gosh, she is going nuts. Okay, sorry for the distraction with the dog. Yeah, this movie, people are loving it. It's already, we're recording this on Saturday because I wasn't feeling well yesterday, so we had to delay it. And I'm glad we did delay it because it made $74 million on Friday. Oh my God. In one day, it made more money than almost every other movie that came out this entire summer.
Well, considering, like, the first Lion King was, like, a box office smash and it, like, broke records for, like, for Disney animated movies.
But I have heard nothing but, oh, this looks bad. Like,
people are going to watch this because of the nostalgia and because people think cartoons are dumb, so they think realistic Lion King will be better.
Yeah, oh, God, I've got a whole video coming up about that. So, yeah, I'm not going to go into details about the plot because it's the fucking
Yeah,
Lion.
you know this. You know the
You
plot.
either saw The Lion King or you saw Kimba the White Lion. You know. Or you read Hamlet in high school. Yeah, that's one thing that I always kind of liked about the Lion King movies, that they continued on after the first Lion King, like when they made the straight-to-DVD, straight-to-video Lion King 2.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this one's Romeo and Juliet. Then they made that Timon and Pumbaa one.
Yeah.
This is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. It's like, this is actually really smart that you guys continue like a Shakespearean theme throughout all these. That's actually kind of cool. Yeah, this movie, there came a moment while watching this film that I thought to myself, if this had a narrator to it, I could close my eyes and this would actually be a really good audiobook.
Honestly, I kind of wish it did have a narrator because the lip movement on the lines are just so not.
I didn't have a huge problem, but there were moments. I caught a few moments which was like, that's kind of weird.
It's just that the voice acting is really good. It's great.
Yeah, it's great.
But because the characters are not emoting, it feels very jarring.
It does.
Like, I'm thinking like Homeward Bound. Like, they had like voiceovers for like the dogs and the cats and everything. It's like, why couldn't they have just done that?
Remember when Shadow was trying to get out of that hole and Shadow just looked so sad and the other dogs were like,
no.
Yeah, and like, you felt bad for them because they looked very sad. And there was no CGI on that. God damn it.
It's like, I admit, I did get a little bit emotional during Mufasa's death.
Yes, okay. That's something that we should talk about. That is something that we should talk about. Because, I didn't feel really any emotions throughout much of this film. But it got to that moment. And there's that moment where little Simba, which I don't know the kid who played little Simba, but he was really good, in which he was going, help! Someone help! And it's a long shot, and they're right down here, very tiny. I was like, oh my God, super wow. All right, I'm taking back what I'm saying. And there's the moment afterwards where baby Simba curls up with dead Mufasa. And I was like, oh man, that's really emotional too. And that is like the one moment I can point to in this film where the realism actually helped add to the emotions, because you've maybe probably heard those stories or seen pictures of like, well, here's a dead mother and like the baby's crying.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard stuff about that with animals before, and yeah, the realism actually kind of helped with the emotions at that moment right there. But then Scar came up, and Scar went, you killed him, Simba. It's your fault. That's his face during that moment.
That's the thing.
And it was like, all those emotions gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Anytime they like have like a close up on the character's face, it's blank, emotionless.
Yeah.
Like if you just had it like zoomed out, it's fine. Like whenever like Nala and Simba were playing together, I thought that was cute.
It was adorable.
Yeah, but it's like anytime you like try and like do a zoom in or anything like that, it's just nothing.
There are many moments with young Simba and young Nala that I thought looked adorable. But I had to stop myself from giving this movie credit for that, because I went, yeah, man, I've got Twitter. There's like 5 different accounts that I follow on Twitter that are just cute animal pictures. I got that for free in my phone, like right now. Bam, done. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's not anything really, like, I'm not going to give you points on that. And a lot of people are going to go, well, you got to give him points for making it look so realistic. Do I? Okay, yes, you do have to give them points. But, dude, this is not like 2005 anymore. This is not like a decade ago. We have had over a decade of a realistic-looking bipedal raccoon toting guns with a giant talking tree. I just a couple months ago saw 30 goddamn superheroes line up to fight giant space war monsters. Yeah, man, I don't give a crap if you make a lion look like a real lion anymore.
Like, that's the thing, like, people...
Let me just go ahead, I gotta cover my tracks on this real quick. Let me go and say, yeah, the special effects people, they worked their asses off.
Yes.
They worked very hard on this. But what I'm saying is, back in like the 90s, you could have nothing going for your movie, and the special effects people, they would be like that emergency like driver that just shows up, your car breaks down, and then all of a sudden a limo just shows up with like nice air conditioning and food in the back, and it's like, hey, come on in, man, we got this. Now visual effects are just another cog in that car, and if the rest of the car is breaking down, that one little speck ain't gonna fix that thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like nowadays people are Hollywood is relying way too much on CGI and special effects.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I'm not insulting animators. I'm going into animation myself and everything, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for animation.
She is an animation buff, yes. If you've watched this show for long enough, you know she's the animation expert.
The thing is, animation is not about making things real. It's about making things believable.
Yes. That's very well said.
Yes, that is why I feel emotion towards a 2D singing and dancing lion as opposed to a 3D lion just standing around and having its lips move. That man.
Yeah. And a lot of times the realism hurts this.
Yes.
It hurt it way more. It hurt it way more than like that one time that I can point and say it helped it. And I'm not even talking about the lack of emotions. Hiccups. I'm getting so angry. I'm getting the hiccups. I felt it honestly hurt it more than it helped it, and I'm not even talking about the lack of emotions, because in the original Lion King, Scar is drawn very angular. He's got a lot of sharp angles in him.
Yes.
And they wanted to try and recapture that in a realistic sense. Well, what's the realistic version of that? Bony. It's malnourished. So anytime that Scar pops up, and you've got Mufasa there with the big, majestic mane, and then you've got Scar, who's like balding, and you can see his bones, and he's just so skinny, and like his body's kind of just messed up. I kept looking at him like, this is the dude I'm supposed to be afraid of? This is, I don't know.
It's like, geez, no wonder you're not king. You're already halfway dead.
He's scrounging for a mouse because he's starving at the beginning of this thing. And this is another problem that I had. Later on, when Simba comes back, I looked at Simba and I was like, you have spent, like, the majority of your life just eating bugs. And Scar has now spent several years at this point just eating everything that's brought him, he's still malnourished. He's still just a sack of bones with saggy flesh.
You'd think it'd be the other way around. Like a lion living off bugs would be skinny and scrawny, and a lion that's eating everything would be nice and fat.
And you don't question it in the animated version, because in the animated version, it's he's good, he's bad, that's how they're designed. Done. But in this, you want to go for realism? I'm sorry, man, I gotta judge this on realism.
Yeah, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, there are some things where it's like, that's not realistic enough, or it's like too realistic.
Yeah.
Like, for example, anytime they like broke into song, which was really weird.
When they first started singing I Can't Wait to Be King, did you have that moment that I had where you went, oh my god, I forgot this was a musical?
No, not really, because I knew that there was gonna be music because I saw like the little
Hakuna Matata
thing. So it's like, oh, of course they're gonna have I Can't Wait to Be King. And it's like when they sung that, it's like it's just a bunch of animals running, and their lips happen to be moving with the song, the lyrics.
Yeah.
And it's like they're not dancing, and I understand because that's not what animals do. But this is a musical part. This is like a song and dance scene. So not having any singing and dancing going, it just feels really weird. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it felt a little bit off.
Yeah, like even Aladdin had like musical numbers.
Man, I gotta bump my Aladdin score by like half a point after watching this one. I think I still gave it like a 6 out of 10. I think I came out of it like, yeah, it's okay. But I will flat out admit, a lot of the reason why I was like, yeah, it's not bad was because the songs in Aladdin are really damn good, and they were still really catchy when they did them here. But after watching this, I got bumped my Aladdin score up by like half a point because even though they followed the same storyline, they still tried to do some stuff differently.
Yes, and
Will Smith, we said this going in, there is no way that you can match Robin Williams as the genie. You would be crazy to attempt that. And you watch Will Smith, and he's trying to match his energy, but he's still different. He's not doing like impersonations and stuff. He's still trying to like have his own different style to the genie. And like there's musical numbers in there that feel different from the musical numbers. Not in terms of I'm talking about like the dance scene.
Yes, yes.
I look at that as like that's a completely original like dance number in there, and it kind of fits this new thing. This is so just the exact same goddamn movie that there is no point.
There really isn't.
There is not, like, with the Aladdin, I can, listen, after watching this one, I gotta come back around and say, yeah, man, maybe there is a point to watching that Aladdin film. There is 0 point to watching that.
Yeah, honestly, like I said before, it's like, I'm more curious in, like, remakes that do something different as opposed to, like, just rehashing the animated version.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one, they added, like, half an hour onto this thing, and I just keep looking at it, it's like, you followed that movie so close. I don't know what the half hour is that you had.
It's like I noticed that like some parts were like dragged on a little too long.
It did feel like there was 1 or 2 extra lines added to almost every scene.
Yeah.
But every other line in that scene was exactly the line from the movie. The only thing that I can really say makes this movie kind of worth watching is the performances are really damn good. I gotta give the movie credit. They nailed the casting on every single character in here. I believe it's Troy Edgerford who plays Scar. He's great as Scar. Donald Glover as Simba. Simba, great. James Earl Jones, he's might even be better in here. His voice acting than it was in the original Lion King. His voice acting is actually great in this movie. And God, I know it's Seth Rogen as Pumbaa. I can't remember who is Timon.
Oh, I forgot too.
It's Billy on the Street. I know that's who it is. But I don't know his full name. But yeah, they're actually, like, if you gotta pick someone to be celebrities who recapture the original characters, yeah, they did. But that's also kind of another thing that comes back around. There's nothing original about Chiwetel Ejiofor is just playing Scar from the last movie. Timon and Pumbaa are just playing Timon and Pumbaa from the last movie. Timon is a little bit more attitude. That's all that he's got. He's got a little bit more attitude, but Seth Rogen is entirely just Pumbaa.
Yeah, it's like, I noticed there are like certain tweaks to the characters, but like not enough.
Yeah.
Like Zazu, like in like the original movie, he's like very proper and everything, but in this one he's just like very squawky, like an actual bird.
He is a little bit more of what your memory might remember Zazu to be like. Like, I can see somebody who over time, that's what they kind of turn Zazu into in their mind. But yeah, when you go back and you watch the original, he is more of just like, yes, sir. Just kind of like the king's, what's the word I'm looking for? The king's messenger. The king's right hand. That's what I'm trying to say.
Or right paw.
Right paw, yeah. Yeah, he is more like that in the original, whereas here, he is a little bit more of your typical...
annoying bird.
Your typical Disney sidekick, I would say. Kind of like, God, who's the crab in Little Mermaid?
Oh, Sebastian?
Yeah, because Sebastian, he was way more jokey than Zazu was. And there's a lot of other people, like, you think of some of the house utensils in Beauty and the Beast. A lot of them were very jokey. Zazu was probably in the original less jokey than your typical Disney sidekick, but here he is joked up a little bit. But there are a lot of other moments in here where they will take lines, and I don't have a beat for beat memory of the original Lion King, but there were several times in here in which they would take exact lines from the original one that I did remember, and they would tweak them just slightly, just a little bit, and it always made it worse.
Yeah.
It always made it worse.
Yeah, one thing that, stuck out is when Scar said, "Long live the king." That was, very chilling in the first movie.
It's not nearly as chilling in this one. Yeah, that one stuck out to me, but it's still the exact same line. There's other moments, like the Mr. Pig moment.
Oh, yeah. Instead of Mr. Pig, they called him Chubby. And
Chubby? He goes, Chubby? Chubby, did you just call me Chubby? I think they did, Pumbaa. Listen, I might be afraid of many things, but I will never back down from a bully. That is not nearly as good as... What did you just call me? I think I just called you Pig. Did you just call me Pig? Yeah, we just called you Pig. That's Mr. Pig! That's so much better! This is, this one... That's, okay, well, you're, yay, not back down from a bull... How... I'm pretty sure all the other villains in here are bullies, too. Why were you running from them a moment ago? Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense in this. And there's no reason to change that around. The original one had so much more life and emotion to it, and there's several moments like that, where it's almost the same line. It is almost the same line, but it's just tweaked slightly, and it's tweaked for the worse.
Yeah, throughout this entire movie, I was, it was very mediocre. It's there was, oh, that's pretty good. I didn't really like that. But then there was that big fuck you moment.
Oh, what was it?
The part when Simba was supposed to see Mufasa in the sky, but he never appears.
Yeah.
He's just clouds.
They had to go realism on that.
That pissed me off so much because that is one of the most iconic scenes in the movie.
I was legit wondering how they were going to do that.
It's just clouds and thunder and just Mufasa's voiceover.
At one moment, there is a burst of lightning in this big collection of clouds, and it looks like the clouds have eyes. That is the closest you get to that.
That's it.
Oh yeah, I remember going, how are they going to do that?
And then they cut back to Simba, and once again, no emotion. Meanwhile, in the animated version, you actually see his jaw agape and tears swelling up in his eyes, and is wow, fuck you.
When it got to that moment, I just became that Arrested Development meme. I don't know what I expected. Yeah, that was a big deal. And speaking of that, that brings me back to a point that I made a moment ago in which I said the realism actually hurts many parts of this because even when they don't change the story, it now makes you look at the story and kind of analyze it a little bit more well, I didn't question that in the animated version because the animated version, it's animated, so it's not real, so you don't have to judge it realistically. When you try to make it real, now you judge it realistically. And when he turned around from that and went back to Nala, I kept looking at that moment going, dude, you ran away and then spent 10 years just eating bugs while the world was just destroyed around you, and now you're coming back to be king. Meanwhile, she's been in there in the shit just trying to figure all this stuff out. Why are you the protagonist of this again?
Honestly, yes. I feel like Nala should have been the protagonist, and the way they set up the hyenas, Shenzi should have been the main villainess, because she was the leader of the hyenas.
I will say I like that they had a showdown between Shinji and Nala.
Yes, and
that was actually good. I like that.
I just wish it was more badass and took up more screen time, because honestly,
they cut away from that thing quick. I
did not give a fuck about Simba and Scar at that point. I really didn't.
Yeah, they cut away from them quick. I will say, I also, they didn't want to have Ed the hyena be the kind of guy that it was in the original. They wanted to, again, make him more realistic. I thought they did a decent job changing him around.
I guess so.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, but it's like...
Except for the fact that I will say, I thought that his character and the other one were too similar now. I didn't have that problem. There were moments in which they were kind of messing with each other. And I was like, okay, so Ed is a little bit dumber, but not by a whole lot in there. So, yeah. The hyenas, I think, are okay.
Yeah.
In this, out of all the characters, I think Timon and Pumbaa are the ones who I have the least amount of complaints about. But then I'd also go say the hyenas.
Yeah, I did like the hyenas. I like that they actually were not like Scar's henchmen. Like Scar actually had like go up to them and like talk to them, persuade them to join his league so they can take over the Pride Lands with him.
I will say though, they did, just like with Aladdin, they add a song to Aladdin because they needed to extend time. This is the one time in which I could actually look at this movie and go, oh, that's something that they add in here, was the scene in which he was going up to the hyenas to convince them to join him. And he now has a song. Did he have a song in the original?
Yes, Be Prepared was like one of the most infamous bad guy songs ever.
I do not remember that.
And they fucked it up.
Okay, I did not remember it in the original, but I remember looking at this one going, oh, I guess they added this song in here.
No, they bastardized that song.
Because it did not sound... Okay.
It did not sound anything like the original. The original was like... really awesome and everything. It's just...
Yeah, I kept looking at this going, this clearly has to be... Because I didn't remember the song. I kept looking at this going, this has to be a song that they made up just for this, because it does not sound like any of the other songs in here.
Yes.
It does not match it at all.
No, it doesn't. And oof.
Yeah, kind of like Jasmine's song in Aladdin. That I actually thought was a good song.
Yes.
But all the songs in Aladdin have this like either air of mystery or adventure to it.
Yeah.
Whereas that was this big, I will stand up and be defiant kind of song. And I was like, that's a good song, but it does not match the rest of the songs in here. This one, wow, it did not match any of these in here, and apparently it was in the original, and I don't remember it at all.
No, that's because they just ruined it. And it's like, and another thing I noticed is like the color palette in this movie is just very bland.
It's, okay, when they were going out there and they were saying, okay, don't go over there into the shadowy area, don't go to the elephant graveyard, I kept thinking to myself, all right, Elephant Graveyard in the original, that was a badass reveal. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be that moment where they win me back on here. And wow, when they got there, again, Arrested Development moment. I don't know what I was expecting. It's not even cloudy when they get there.
No, and
it's just kind of darker rocks.
Like dark gray rocks and like kind of a gray sky, and it's like there weren't even any elephant bones.
Yeah,
and it's like, how do you call it an elephant graveyard when there's no bones?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This movie, again, the colors are very muted on this thing. What was the mandrel's name? Rafiki?
Yes.
Yeah, Rafiki, like, mandrels are bright and colorful. His colors are even tapped down a little bit in here. Which, by the way, this movie, it's so just nothing but aimed at nostalgia. Like, that is all this is. It is just trying to get that nostalgia dollar in here. There is a moment where Rafiki, he is about to go in there in a battle. He reaches into the tree, pulls out his staff, and he looks at it like he just picked up Thor's hammer. And he just goes, hello, my old friend.
And meanwhile,
and I just thought to myself, you haven't set that up at all in this film.
No, I remember like in the opening, he like walks up to Pride Rock. It's like, where's your walking stick? You had a walking stick. Is that not realistic enough? And then he uses the stick to fight off hyenas. Like, well that's not very realistic.
He brings it out so that they can turn to the audience and say, you remember? Yeah, yes, it's that thing. It's, there's nothing actually in my hands, Peach. It's fine. It's like, yeah, you remember that thing from, yeah, okay, sure.
Oh my goodness, Peach.
Like, yeah, you remember that thing from the movie, right? You remember this from when you were a kid? You remember how much you loved it when he came in and started beating them up with the stick? Yeah, remember how good that scene was? That's all that moment is. It is nothing but pointing out and turning the audience. Yeah, you remember this, right? There's another moment just like that. It's when Timon says Hakuna Matata the first time. There's a brief pause, and then Simba goes, Hakuna Matata, what's that? What's that? What? You don't know what Hakuna Matata is? It's kind of like our thing.
Yeah,
it's our thing that we do.
Yeah,
normally people cheer and applaud when we say it. There is a pause after he says Hakuna Matata for this time, because they're like, the audience is going to applaud at this moment. My audience didn't applaud that shit. And yet, again, my audience didn't really do shit. They laughed at 2 jokes in this entire thing. And then at the end of the movie, just applauding wildly.
I know. I just kind of want to stand up and say, why are you clapping? Like,
I don't get it, people. I really don't.
No, I don't get it either. Do you get it, Peach? I certainly don't. Oh my goodness.
One of these days, I want to give Peach just like a green sweater. So when she jumps up here during these recordings, it'll just be like an invisible dog head just floating around.
That'd be great for Thorgy Ween.
That'd be good, yeah. That'd be good, which I need to start doing soon. We started doing that in September last year, and I was still counting down. I was still like racing the clock on, so I gotta start doing that next month. Oh, yes. It'll be the first Thorgy Ween where I'm sweating through the whole thing because we're in the middle of a heat wave. But yeah, okay, so anything else you want to say, or should we go into score?
I don't know what else there is to say, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to give this thing... my score is going to shock you guys. I'm going to give it a 4. Because I do think the performances are really good.
Yeah.
And... listen, man, it does look nice.
But there's gotta be more to it.
But there's gotta be more to it. It's this movie, honestly, I wasn't mad the whole time. I can sense that you were mad.
Like,
I was just bored.
Yeah,
I was just bored out of my mind during this whole thing.
Most of the time I was just staring at the screen like I wasn't angry. I was more like disappointed. Yes.
And that's worse.
Yes. And there were definitely like moments where I was pissed off, like the Mufasa scene and everything, but most of the time I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, but the saving grace for me is that I think the performances are so good that I could close my eyes and just kind of picture them having emotions and be like, man, it's kind of nice to just listen along to this.
I kind of want to
Like you said, this could be a really great audiobook if they just add a narrator in there.
Honestly, yeah, I kind of want to like do like an edit where the voice cast from the live action movie is dubbed over the animated one just to see how well it fits.
That might be kind of cool. Oh, God. I don't know why, but it just came back to me. People kept talking about how bad the Hakuna Matata song looks in there. It's like, there's no emotion or anything in here. Can You Feel the Love Tonight is the worst.
Oh, yeah.
It is so much worse than Hakuna Matata.
Because they weren't even, like, singing the song.
They weren't even, like, prancing or doing anything. They were just walking.
It
is like someone just took basic-ass footage of a documentary about lions, and you just have a shot of them just walking, and then you just put, Can You Feel the Love Tonight over it.
Honestly, it's like... if it's so realistic, why not just, like, film real animals, honestly? Because there's really no other way of knowing that it could be animated because it's just so bland.
Yeah, oh my God. This movie, it's a big disappointment on pretty much every level, but I will say performances are good, and as lifeless as the characters are, there's still some good shots in here.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau knows how to, like, frame a shot.
Yeah.
Or I guess the cinematographer does, to be more accurately. So, yeah, I'm giving it a 4 just because it's boring, but I was able to get through it without, like, being upset.
I'd probably give it a 4 too, and, like, I'm usually, like, more generous with the rating, so this is kind of, like... because, like I said, most of the time I was just, like, very in the middle. I probably would have given it a 5 if it weren't for that Mufasa scene. That was, like I said, that was my
you
big...
You were mad about
yes,
that.
I was. That was, like, my big fuck you moment.
Yeah. As I said, this movie's just boring to me, and... man, for a movie that has so much life and energy to it, it's kind of sad to say, yeah, it's just boring now. Mm-hmm. But to me, boring is always equal to 4. If that's my big complaint with you, it's typically going to be a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Especially if you have other good stuff in there.
Yeah, like, for me, boring would be, like, a 5, because that's, like, literally, like, right down the middle.
Ah, okay.
Out of a 10 and everything, so.
Alright, that was it. Is anything going on next week that's worth mentioning? Because this movie, goddamn, it's making so much freaking money that I wouldn't be shocked if everybody just skips out next weekend. We'll have something for you next weekend. Peach will be here. She's always here. There you go. Everybody enjoy that. I just pet the dog for everybody out there.
Yes.
This was the face they were all making in the entire movie. Just No, actually, she's looking up right now. And it's kind of looking like she's got some wonder, some curiosity. Just what is that?
Yes.
I don't know. Oh God! Please don't make a live-action Oliver and Company.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Okay, so that is it. You're cute. You guys didn't even see that. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Come in next time. Bye.
Bye.